let me back down, down, down.
What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't been on here in a minute, but I am back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Malia. Today I said way too many times, but oh well, cause I done did this 30 times. This gonna work. This one is gonna be it. Today I'm gonna do a detailed video on it for you all. Just get into a couple of things with y'all, talk to y'all, cause it has been a minute. So if you're interested in seeing a cut crease tutorial, please keep watching. Make sure that you have on my post notifications so you don't miss a beat when I post a new video. Let's get it. So first things first, when you're doing eyeshadow, you want to start off with a solid colored base. So what I'm going to be doing mine today with is my P. Louise setting base. I have the color, I have the number 3. Matter of fact, I lied. This is the number 4. And I like to just set my entire eye with this color just so it can have an even base. Make sure it isn't too dark but isn't too light at the same time. You just want to have a shade that your eyeshadows will pop off of. The palette I'm going to be using today is going to be my James Charles palette from Morphe, and the first color I'm going to go in with is this one right here. What you're going to do is take your brush and go back and forth just like this. And what we're doing is just giving my eye a nice transition color. It's better to eventually start to pack on rather than putting too much on at first and now you have like way too much of a color you didn't need. Okay, now that I have my first color blended out, what I'm going to do is go in with color number 2, which is going to be this one right here, and I'm going to be popping this one directly on top of my crease, just to broaden up this orange here and give it a little bit of bite, a little bit of pizzazz, you know. I'm sorry, this brush does not move the same as my M139 brush. This one, the hairs on this one are way more together and just not as loose. And what I wanted to do was give this orange a little bit of red tint to it, and it's actually coming out exactly how I wanted it to. If you find that you've added too much of that second color, feel free to go back in with the first one, with your first brush, the M139, and add more if necessary. Usually you don't want to add too much and you don't want to overkill when it comes to that, because you don't want to have color like all up here. You know, what I'm going to be doing now is cutting my crease. I'm going to be cutting my crease with the same base I used to set my eyelids. I'm going to take a little bit, just put it right on my hand. Then I'm going to be taking this little flat brush. You want to use a flat brush when cutting your crease because you don't want to use something that has too many bristles, something that's too thick. You want to make sure that when you're cutting your crease, you have something that's very flat for you to lay flat on top of your lid and evenly cut your crease. You don't want to use a brush that looks like this. As you can see, this is very thick. The bristles aren't together at the top. I know that people like to use big flat brushes when cutting their crease, but as you can see, this one is very thick. It's not really flat at all. And it just, sometimes when you use something this big, it can really cause you to mess up when you're cutting it. So I say, and I prefer using something that's smaller, flat, and more precise when it comes to, you know, cutting my crease. When cutting your crease, you want to make sure you know exactly where your eyeball and your crease is. That's first of all, okay? You don't want to cut your crease too small, and you also don't want to cut it too big. Everyone's crease is not going to be the same size. It won't! Not everyone has the same shaped eyes. You know, not everyone has the same amount of space when it comes to their lid area. So it really just depends on you, that person, and how, you know, their eye area is made. This is where I like to start, right on this crease of my eye. And I take mine and go all the way here. And I also find that looking down helps, because it really flattens, you know, any wrinkles you may have on your lids from, you know, getting in the way. Another thing I like to do is stop my crease like right before it reaches the end, because I usually pop a color there, and that's what I'm about to do now. So the color I'm going to be popping right on my outer corner will be this pink color right here. I chose this one because I feel like it'll really complement this reddish orange that's in here, and I kind of want to keep the colors in sync with each other. So the outside of my crease is what I meant. I meant the outside of my crease. So the brush I'm going to be using to do that is going to be my Morphe E17 brush. This brush is strictly for packing color onto designated areas. As you can see, this brush flares outwards. Why did I do that? As you can see, this brush flares outwards, so it's really good for picking color up and popping it right on top of where it needs to be. So I'm gonna take that pink and pop it right on the outer crease. This color here is literally just for the lid. So you don't want to get it like above or like on your crease exactly. I mean above your crease. You don't want to get this color like above your crease because it's not where it belongs. And I'm actually also going to take this darker pink right here. It's more of like a, it's too light to be a plum, but it's really just like a darker version of this one that I just used right here. So I'm going to take this one and just pop it on top of this just to make it a little bit darker. Okay, and sometimes like after doing that, you come across your creasing. You can just go back in with the brush that you use and just softly pat it out. I also like to do this. I like to draw my crease there. What I want to do now is take this orange here and pop it right in the middle of my lid, only because I want to give this a little bit of pop. And I did use orange first, so I kind of want to make sure I'm still incorporating that, you know, orangey feeling in there somewhere, you know. So I'm going to be taking my Morphe M167. This is a flat brush, but it's definitely like a thicker flat brush used just for packing eyeshadows onto the lid. And like I said, I'm going to be taking this orange right here slightly and just pop it a little bit in the middle. So what I'm going to do is take my orange out of my 35B palette and use it instead, because this one is like breaking apart. And it's weird because the orange, I mean not the orange, and it's weird because the yellow shade that's in this palette actually gave me the same type of trouble when I used it before. So that's kind of weird. So what I'm gonna do now is take this cashmere nude color and pop it right on top of my lid. And then maybe I may take one of these shimmers and pop it right on top. I'm gonna be doing this with one of my flat brushes. So like I said, I'm gonna take that nude color, which is the first color in this palette, and just pop it right here. And hope it does what the hell I needed to do. Oh my god, y'all, so I did my braids myself for the first time ever, and they're a little old now. Really, they're not even that old. I've had it for like maybe 2 weeks now, but girl, I feel like I did a damn good job. And now that I know that I can do it, I know I can just start practicing with them and just getting better and better, you know? You want everything to look like a smooth transition. Yeah, that orange and that James Charles palette is terrible. And it's crazy because the yellow is the same way. And somebody on here actually asked me to try that yellow in that palette and tell me how I liked it, because they had issues with it. And it's crazy that I had the same issues with it. And we are done with the eye area. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face, and then when I get back, I'll talk to you guys about it. Concealer, I'm gonna be using my ColourPop concealer. It's been a hot ass minute since I used it. I used to love this concealer, and I still do love it. Oh, and I use the shade Dark 42. It's one of the newer shades. It isn't one of the old ones from the first collection. It is one of the additional shades that they added. Yeah, that's how long I've been a fan, sis. I'm also gonna do a little contour with my ColourPop concealer in the shade Dark 54. I like this one. It isn't too light and isn't too dark. And that's it, girl. We ain't adding no more. That's it. You ain't adding no more. And I just add like a little bit around the perimeter. And maybe like here, because let's just see why people do that. Even though I'm not gonna play dumb, I know why people do that. I'm just gonna take my real technique. I'm gonna take my Real Techniques brush and just contour this out. I don't like using too much to contour because I hate when it gets like way down here. Now you got like a real issue going down. I would hate for my mouth to be like permanently like this because I like contour at the bottom, but I only did it today because I like to try new things. Y'all see that curl? Bing. I like to try new things and just see how I like it. And I also like to try stuff I see people do, just to see like how effective it would be on me as well. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of blush. This is a blush I got from MAC, but it's old, so I don't even really know the name because it's like old and stuff. So I'm gonna take this and do a cute little I should have set my face before I did my blush, but I wasn't even thinking about it. And I like to make sure I'm looking up when I'm setting my face as well, because you don't want to be setting creases and lines that are on your face. So try to make sure that your face is as smooth and even base as you can when it comes to setting it, because you don't want to be setting creases. That's just pointless. I like to add eyeshadow under my under eye as well, just because it gives my look a little bit more pop. And that concludes this look for today. This is my cut crease tutorial. I will put the details to my full face in the bio of this video, in the description bar. I'll put the details in the description bar of this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure that you are subscribed. If you're new, make sure you do go check out some of my older videos and make sure that you get caught up on what I have on my channel already. I will have more videos coming to you guys soon, so please stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time.